You guys have a rad pastor. Can we use rad in Colorado? I mean, we were already high, so I didn't never cross my mind when we came up with that. Gosh, I love my life. When I was young, for whatever reason was going on in my life, I felt so much more safe with animals than I did with people. And something started happening inside of me at a really young age that I didn't realize was gonna become this monumental thing for me later when I was really lost. And so what I get to do now, I somehow, through my love for horses, learned how to be loved by God and be fathered by him. And through that process, eventually made it to where I can look at you and truly say that I'm here because I love you. And I don't have to know you. I just know what your value is because I know of what was paid so that we could be here together. And the blood of Jesus wasn't no joke, and wasn't cheap, and it was way more than physical suffering that he went through. And then to have a man, did you see how thick that freaking dude was? It just stood up here, the Border Patrol. I'm like, if I'm a Mexican, I'm like, I ain't going nowhere near the border, that dude. But I didn't just see a big, tough dude. I saw a whole bunch of power wrapped up in kindness and a hunger that will make his way when there's not a ton of resource to make it happen, to come up here because he wants to be a better man. That's masculinity. And it's because of men, it's because of men like that. Women, now we've got women involved in the armed forces, but the fact that we're sitting in a room and we're free and we don't have to worry about who's gonna come storming in the gates or what's gonna fall on our heads, we just don't think about that. We got our homes and we're safe, and we have wealth and we have prosperity, and we have enough love in this room that we can transform a world. And so I hope that whatever happens here, I purposely don't know anything about the horses other than it's halter broke, meaning you can put a halter on it and lead it, but it's never been saddled and it's never been ridden. Anything else goes, apparently, because we get anything in between there. But so I'm gonna introduce myself to this guy. He's a 2-year-old gelding, I think. He's a gelding, yes? I didn't. He's male. Hi. So for the most part, everybody that has engaged him, and I'm just gonna guess this, just from what I can read and what I can see on him, that they've taught him well to do what it is that he does. And he was able to be led in here, not too concerned about me, maybe not concerned enough about you or anything else that's going on around here, but the relaxed environment. And I hope you believe in this because you're living in the reality of it. It's almost like I've met people that don't believe in gravity. Like, I don't know how you live like that. If you don't believe in gravity, go ahead and jump off the roof. I promise you it's gonna work. But there's an atmosphere that we're sitting in right now that whether you believe in it or not, it's being created because of this spiritual realm that we have just adored God. We have presented ourselves to him as living sacrifices. We've humbled ourselves in ways that it builds an atmosphere. And it's an atmosphere that he's already under somewhat of the spell of, we'll say, that he's just chill. But there's some things that could be alarming that are coming up, that he doesn't understand what his role is. He doesn't understand what my role is. And I only want to move him enough to make him realize that, wait a minute, something's happening here. And this guy actually is trying to say something to me. He's not very curious about me yet. We'll go the other direction. He's a lot more curious now. Well, he's more impressed with y'all than he is me. Hi. Attaboy.
I was meant to be tending a grave. I was called by born and raised back to life again. And I was made for more. So why would I make a bed in my shame when the fountain of grace is running my way? I know I am yours, and I was made for more. I wasn't meant to be tending a grave. I was called by thee, born and raised back to life again. I was made for more. So why would I make a bed in my shame when the fountain of grace is running my way? I know I am yours, and I was made for more.
Wow. So on this side of him, he's probably had the least people engage him. I haven't run him around to get him tired. I do want him to start sorting through some things, because when he's standing there, he can almost get in kind of a trance. And while he's moving, he's processing what's going on around him. And I want him to, he hadn't really asked me any questions yet. So I think because this idea that Jim started off with, that if we don't know who we are, we're really going to spend our lives trying to figure out some way to find a significance, find safety, some way to process the pain that you've been through, or even just what feels like a life of no significance or purpose. And if he was to realize that his entire purpose for existing is for this moment to live as a recipient of my love and not just simply my dominion. And it's hard to reveal my love to him. That really helped. It's amazing what little things matter to somebody. And there's people that are sitting around you that you'd be amazed at what a really small thing could do to open up their heart to realize that they just want to receive love. And he just made a really big decision. A lot of you might not notice it, but to me it was a really big deal, because he was just really passive and apathetic about me. And a lot of people go through their entire lives oblivious to the idea that there's a God of wonders, that there's a creator of heaven and earth that longs to have oneness and connection with you. And he just woke up out of that, and even just the way he gave and came directly to me and gave me both his ears and his eyes. If I could put it in human terms, it'd be almost like you give your heart to somebody. But there's always stages of that, and there's development that comes along with that. I don't know if you can see his ear. Looks like he got attacked by a raccoon or something. Something bit your ear. He's big.
I know who I am, 'cause I know who you are. The cross of salvation was only the start. Now I am chosen, free and forgiven. I have a future, and it's worth the living. And I wasn't made to be damned in a grave. I was called by name, born and raised back to life again. And I was made for more. So why would I make a bed in my shame when a fountain of grace is running my way? I know I am yours, and I was made for more. And I wasn't meant to be dead in a grave. I was called by name, born and raised back to life again. And I was made for more. So why would I make a bed in my shame when a fountain of grace is running my way? I know I am yours, and I was made for more.
So the reason it's important that nobody's been on him before, because it's not the weight, bearing of my weight that he needed to wait this long for. It was an appointed time that has something to do with an aptitude, a maturity that makes it to where he's going to be able to process some things in a way that actually is going to transform his life. Because here, I can teach him things from here, and he can follow me, and I can get him from point A to point B. And I think this is how most of humanity lives, is they figure out what rules there are. I don't care whether you live in a gang or you live in a prison or you live in a community or you live in a foreign nation. You find out what the culture will allow, and you find ways to work within that culture to get what it is that you need. There's strategies. And there's strategies that are really, really intricate. I don't care how simple-minded you think you are. You've got very intricate strategies that you've developed to figure out how to go from point A to point B and how to survive. And he's found his safety in some ways that he's come up with, and it's all been external. He's never actually done anything that's out of the abundance of his heart that he wants this. John 10:10. I can't often do this, but there's two really significant truths that's revealed when he says that there's an enemy that has come to steal and to kill and destroy. to deceive and to lie and to manipulate, to cause fear. But Jesus said, but I've come so that you would have life and in such abundance that it's life that's overflowing. It's the kind of life that is, you've got more than enough to give. And it has very little to do with the physical possessions. It has to do with your ability to share life with other people and what love looks like. And because we're going after the heart, and Jesus was so about going after the heart, it's why it's important that I get here. And it's really fast. It's a lot to ask of him. I think he's up for it. They got a lot of sand in here, so I got a soft landing. But this is what the journey of the heart has to begin like. Because he's not gonna see me out in front saying, this is the way, walk in it. He's gonna have to feel me.
There's nothing worth more that could ever come close. Nothing can compare. You are living hope. Your presence, Lord. I've tasted and seen the sweetest of loves, where my heart becomes free and my shame is undone. Your presence, Lord. Holy Spirit, you are welcome here. Come flood this place and fill the atmosphere. Your glory, God, is what our hearts long for. To be overcome by your presence, Lord. Holy Spirit, you are welcome here. Come flood this place and fill the atmosphere. Your glory, God, is what our hearts long for. To be overcome by your presence, Lord. Be overcome, oh, be overcome, Jesus, by your presence, by your presence, Jesus. Let us become more aware of your presence. Let us experience the glory of your goodness. Let us become more aware of your presence. Let us experience the glory of your goodness. Let us become more aware of your presence. Let us experience the glory of your goodness.
I'm a lot more comfortable with just the kindness and the gentleness because I'm so familiar with aggressive ways that have been demonstrated out of anger with the motivation of fear, that I'm really slow to want to make sure that he understands that there's only one way that there's a future and hope for him, and that's going to be a humble position, that he realizes that there's something powerful that's happening right now, and there is an authority that Jesus demonstrated. I love the demonstrations of Jesus when he was healing people and when he was calming storms and he was making chaotic things peaceful. But we've got to recognize that he was a king, he was a creator, and he was fixing to kill everything that was evil. Lies were going to be destroyed, and he would take his authority with such aggression that he would literally flip tables to demonstrate that there are certain things that won't be tolerated. You're not going to make a mockery out of my Father's name. You're not going to profit off of my Father's name. You're not going to manipulate and cause people out of fear to submit to your authority. I won't put up with it. I will defend those things that need to be defended. Jesus was thorough about that. I got to stick with him. He's doing great, but there's still a question in his mind, like the ears. He's not looking at me, he's pinning his ears. He's kind of angry. Like, what happened to the scratches and the buckets of grain and all the fun stuff? Like, we'll do that stuff later, buddy. Right now, there's some things inside of you that's gonna have to die, because I love you too much to let you stay in a position that you don't know who's actually got some authority in your life. And it's okay. Like, this is what's so beautiful about our God. Like, I'm a father of 3 sons, and you think the first time I told them no, they just said, oh, yes, sir. Nope. We're still working on that one. But I love it, because there's gonna be a time when this resolve that he has is gonna be a tremendous asset. He's just trying to figure out how to use his power and still stay with me. He could buck me off if he wants, I promise.
I've carried a burden for too long on my own. I wasn't created to bear it alone. I hear your invitation to let it all go. Yeah, I see it now. I'm laying it down. All I know is I need you. I run to the Father, I fall into grace. I'm done with the hiding, no reason to wait. My heart needs a surgeon, my soul needs a friend. So I run to the Father again and again. promise for my heart. And I don't have a contest for that kind of love. I don't understand, I can't comprehend. All I know is I need you. I run to the Father, I fall into grace. I'm done with the hiding, no reason to wait. My heart needs a surgeon, my soul needs a friend. So I run to the Father again and again. I run to the Father, I fall into grace. I'm done with the hiding, no reason to wait. My heart found the surgeon, my soul found a friend. So I run to the Father again and again and again and again.
I needed a couple things, because Jesus is way more aware of what's going on inside of you than I am, and what's going on inside of him. But I know that if we cross a threshold that looks like he's gonna tolerate me, it's tough to ever go back. It's not impossible, it's just tough. And so if we're gonna get him a great start, I would love for him to start with him remembering that I made a decision. Not even sure why. I just knew it was the moment. I made a decision. And that decision is what changed everything in his life. And he gave me the go-ahead in the ways that he talks to me, that we're okay now. And it's not like the battle's over. It's just that, oh, I get it. Let's do this. We're not going to be able to make a mockery of the kingdom of Jesus. It's not all easy. And Jesus made a lot of promises, including the fact that in this life, you're going to be faced with challenges, things that aren't going to make sense. Stay close. I'm going to show you how to be loved and how to love in the middle of it. I take back what I said about the decision he made. Either that or, well, he changed his mind. He's really mad now. So sometimes, like, if I get mad, people know I'm mad. This is kind of like the silent boiler mad. The kind that you think everything's fine and then he just burns a building down. But it's okay still, because I'm the promise keeper. And we've got a Father. I don't know, this is important for somebody. You're prideful. You think you got it together. You're kind of cool. It ain't working anymore, guys. Like, it expires. And you grow old and you get alone. And you realize that all your strategies that you thought you were winning in, they don't work anymore. People don't want to be around it. And it's never going to change my opinion of him. But I know that there's people here and you're struggling with this. Like, I just can't hardly stand the thought of what does it look like to surrender my life to Jesus. It's beautiful, but sometimes it's messy.
stories of what they think you're like, but I've heard the tender whisper of love in the dead of night, and you tell me that you're pleased and that I'm never alone. You're a good, good Father. It's who you are. It's who you are. It's who you are, and I'm loved by you. It's who I am. It's who I am. It's who I am. You're a good, good Father. It's who you are. It's who you are. It's who you are, and I'm loved by you. It's who I am. It's who I am. It's who I am. You're a good, good Father. It's who you are. It's who you are. It's who you are, and I'm loved by you. It's who I am. It's who I am. It's who I am. You're a good, good Father. It's who you are. Yes, it's who you are. Oh, it's who you are. And I'm loved by you. It's who I am. It's who I am. Oh, you're perfect in all of your ways. Oh, you're perfect in all of your ways. God, you're perfect in all of your ways to us. It's who you are, yes, it's who you are. Oh, you're perfect in all of your ways. You're perfect in all of your ways. Oh, you're perfect in all of your ways to us. Oh, you're perfect in all of your ways. Oh, so perfect in all of your ways. God, you're perfect in all of your ways to us. Yes, you are. Oh, you're perfect in all of your ways. You're so perfect in all of your ways. Oh, you're perfect in all of your ways to us.
Man, you guys are being patient. Thank you. I had a horse earlier today. It was a whole lot obvious for people that were watching that she was really, really upset, really frightened, and even traumatized. Battle wounds around her face. Come to find out, there was a lot of story, a lot of trauma that she came in this building with, and it was just obvious her brokenness was. His isn't so obvious, it's more hidden. And unfortunately, this is the story of so many men. I spend a lot of time working with men because, well, one, I is one. But other than that, I raised 3, and I just feel like there's something super powerful when us as men realize that we don't have to hide our anger or our fear or our insecurities anymore. And he's really not hiding them. He's just trying to figure out how to deal with this. And he's doing really good, to tell you the truth, if you knew what was going on inside of him. He's not making it as obvious to everybody, but that's why I keep getting off, and I want to affirm him in, buddy, this is not a power struggle, I promise you. You are powerful. I am powerful. You're gonna get to decide if you want to do your life apart from me or with me. No shame either way. I happen to know what's best, and if you can see what I see, You're way more than beautiful. You're way more than powerful. You've got a destiny and a calling and a purpose. There's a vision. There's things that you'll do that you've never dreamt of. You've settled for walking behind fences and eating grass and being cool. But what if you had my mind? What if I had your body? What if we became one? Then what could we do? Can you hear the plea of heaven? The calling of Jesus, the sacrifice, the commitment, the thousands of years of stories of what humanity is like apart from God. And then now we're 2,000 years into the reign of King Jesus, still trying to figure out what are we gonna do as his sons. It's yet to be told. We know what happened when 12 men and a handful of wild women decided to follow Jesus. They transformed planet Earth, and we're still living in the wake of that, and we call it church, but it's way more than that. In fact is, in many cases, it's everything but that. Because there was no form that Jesus gave. There was power that Jesus gave. It was power to overcome sin. It was power to learn how to love, how to receive love, how to overcome our stories and our own dysfunctions. That we're not just people created in his image that are natural beings. We're spiritual beings created in his image that are separated from him until we make a decision that we don't want to be anymore. And when this story started unfolding in my life, I couldn't read, so I wasn't gonna be able to open the Bible and find out what God had to say about it. And I didn't trust people. But I do know that a man sat across the table from me and said, "Hey, Todd, did you know that God loves you and has a plan for your life?" And it hit me as though, it was almost as though I had went into water and hit fire at the same time. I didn't know what to do because I had never experienced tears. Not since I was a tiny boy. But tears started coming to me and I had to remove myself. I had to leave. I didn't know what else to do other than deal with this statement that now changed my life. If you are a God that loves me and you've got a plan for my life, how am I supposed to know what that is? And then I started working with horses in a round pen, and I started having conversations with them that sounded like, if you will just trust me and stop running and stop fighting, I'm gonna show you things about you that you've never even dreamt of. And then I'd say those things, and then I would feel as though this was the echo of something eternal that was going on inside of me, that these weren't my words. I had just echoed heaven's plea over me, that you were made for more than this, Todd. You don't have to keep running and fighting and leaning on your own pride and your own ways. There's a way that if you'll just acknowledge me, I'm gonna show you ways that are mysterious and they're powerful and they're transformative. That woman that I gave you, I'm gonna teach you how to love her. I'm gonna show you the value and the power that I put inside of her. I've got a promise and I've got a hope over your life. These things are being spoken to me by horses. This isn't something that I came up with. I'm grateful that I have a microphone so people can hear the conversations that I'm having with heaven. Because it's very real, it's spiritual, and it's a massive decision that we all get to participate in. Are you sure he's not a stud? Feels like a lot of testosterone going on is all I'm saying. I've got 3 teenage boys. I remember what happened. It was like testosterone hit their brain and they just instantly went stupid. But man, do I love what happens in a young man's brain when he learns to take all of that now brand new ways of thinking and seeing the world around them and finding what a culture of honor can do with that. And I remember when my oldest son, he went away and did a school of ministry out in Redding, California. And he'd only been there a few months, and he came home and he said, Dad, I didn't know how to honor you, and I'm sorry. But it wasn't just an I'm sorry. There was such a shift in his heart that there was a true repentance that, Dad, I missed it. I want it back. We moved to California from Idaho. This is backwards, y'all. This is like going from heaven to hell. Wow, maybe that was we were like Jesus, baby. In response to that one thing, Dad, I wish I could have more time with you and Mom and with my brothers because I didn't know how to honor you. I didn't know how to receive the things that you could give me. And I'm like, gosh, does that sound familiar? I don't want to be one of God's sons that just has to wake up one day and realize how many years have to go by before I just say, Father, I just want to be with you. I want this oneness. I don't want anything to get in the way anymore.
It's love so undeniable, I can hardly speak. Peace so unexplainable, I can hardly think. She called me deeper still, and she called me deeper still, and she called deeper still into love, love, as you call me, deeper still as you call me, deeper still as you call me, deeper still into love, love, you're a good, good Father, it's who you are. It's who you are, and I'm loved by you. It's who I am, it's who I am, it's who I am. You're a good, good Father. It's who you are, it's who you are, it's who you are, and I'm loved by you. Oh, it's who I am, yes, it's who I am. Perfect in all of your ways. You're perfect in all of your ways. God, you're perfect in all of your ways to us. You're perfect in all of your ways. You're so perfect in all of your ways. God, you're perfect in all of your ways to us. Oh, you're perfect in all of your ways. Yes, you're perfect in all of your ways. God, you're perfect in all of your ways to us.
this worship team has been playing all day long. Well, you guys, yeah. Give me an hour. I swear to God, we will be loping circles and turning both directions. He's right there. He doesn't even think he's doing anything wrong. He's just not comfortable with it yet. So he really isn't doing anything wrong. It's just, it doesn't look like everybody else. He's just sorting through some things. And I'm really, really pleased with him. I've got to write him again. But we've got banners all over the place talking about how we were made for more, based on a song that, it rocked my world, because I am really familiar with what it's like to just run to shame and just hang my head and beat myself up because I've let someone down again. And this being made for more it's why it is that Jesus would look at people and say, come and follow me. There's so much more for you. Would just come this way. Let me show you how to love. Let me show you how it is that we're going to transform a culture. Because if there's 12 of you in this building that believe a word I'm saying, who knows what it is that we can do together. And I think we ought to celebrate this song together as a family. And can we do that, crew? Is that cool? It's like my buddy down here, his name's Lance. He's a builder. My wife loves having him around because she's like, hey, could we build this? And Lance is like, of course. And I'm like, no, we can't do that. So the music guy says we can. So let's stand and sing this song together.
I know who I am, 'cause I know who you are. The cross of salvation was only the start. Now I am chosen, free and forgiven. I have a future, and it's worth the living. Come on, we sing. 'Cause I wasn't made to be tended in a grave. I was called by name, born and raised back to life again. I was made for more. So why would I make in my shame when the fountain of grace is running my way? I know
Do you believe it? I mean, do you believe it? Oh, this is going to get Pentecostal. Do y'all believe in this? Somebody, because if this is the declaration that this house has made prophetically from a mother and a father that aren't here to build a church, they're here to cultivate a family, that they're making a declaration over us, that we get to come in line for this. What does this made for more look like? I don't know about this dude. It's almost like maybe just a slow learner. But that's all right. I am too. But he's fully in. He's made his mind up. And the listening and the moving forward and what all this is going to look like, it's just going to take a little bit more time. But you don't get on most horses the first day with nothing on them. There's a transformation that takes place. And I've got my family here. We've got a prayer team. We've got all sorts of people from this church that are going to be here. Pastor Jim's going to come up. The natural migration is we get done with something like this, we sit and we listen, and then we go to our car and we leave. There's people around you that you need to have conversations with. There's people up here that you need to have just believe with you, pray with you, bring wise counsel, words from God to you. And we want to do all of that. So the worship team's going to stick around a bit. And I'm going to shut up, Jim. I'm 6 minutes over. Thanks.